Okay, let's talk about The Mandalorian because I strangely really liked it. And apparently
Yeah.
I'm not one of the few online. There's a bunch of people that really like it, but there's a very vocal majority of people saying that it's dog shit, and I don't see what they're seeing with that, I suppose.
The th- it's both very cool and very stupid, which is exactly what I want from Star Wars.
But
So
Star
it's
Wars has
perfect.
always been very stupid.
Yes, exactly.
Like,
I
and
love it.
there's so many callbacks and like homages or whatever to like other stuff in the
Yeah.
Star Wars universe. It's fucking I mean, okay, I'll just be real with you. One of the first things that like made me smile was a garbage bot just like walking down the hallway in one part. It's like holy
uh,
shit, the trash can bot is there, or like a
yeah.
trash can bot. Um, it's
That fucking thing, that cooking on the spick, like the alien that was in that's from like Jabba's
yeah,
palace,
yeah, the
and then the
salacious
one in
crumb
the
alien.
cage looking at it. Yeah,
Yeah,
like hold that was fucking
it's,
top tier way
it's
to use that. Just like
yeah,
it's that's so fucked up but amazing.
and I guess like the reason why I really like this thing is because growing up, I was part of like the wave of kids that really liked Boba Fett because Boba Fett was cool looking, but Boba Fett doesn't do
Yep.
fuck all in the movies.
No,
Um,
no. Boba Fett looks cool, but
yeah,
he didn't ever. He just sucks in the movie, honestly. And he has all this baggage from the prequels because of the dumb shit they did with the clones and him. So
yeah,
the idea of this show of taking all the cool shit of Boba Fett and stripping it out from all the lore baggage of actual Boba Fett is fucking perfect to
it's
me.
so good, and
Like,
it's what I wanted from Django, from the prequel, but they made Django
mhm.
like somehow worse, and they gave him shit to do. I don't understand how the fuck that happens, but like
Yeah.
they haven't got the Mandalorians correct, and like the Mandalorian, I don't know why I fucking love Mandalorian lore. Like it's one of the few alternate like books I bought as a kid is like the
Oh,
Mandalorian
that's
armor. Like I'm really
uh
into this garbage, like especially the bounty
yeah.
hunters. And this
I
is
was just
exactly
always
what I
super
wanted.
I was just always super into Boba Fett's look. Like
Yeah.
that aesthetic was just super cool. So like from like the comics, like I never cared about the story stuff. I was just always like the big good images, like individually,
Yeah.
just like really got me.
But like there's so much more in here. The fact that like we actually see a bounty droid IG-11 doing some shit is
IG-11 is
awesome.
so fucking good. He looks so stupid.
Yeah.
He's just so like the way he moves, like the way they executed
Yep.
on that design in motion was so good.
Yeah, because first of all, it looks like a shitty robot, which is awesome.
Yes.
But maybe more importantly, it looks like how it would have been done if this happened back in the 70s with Star Wars 1, because it's very low
Mhm.
budget looking and like trashy. And God, it's so fucking perfect. Also, somehow,
Yeah.
it looks so dumb, but he's such a badass too. Like, it's just
Yes,
perfect
exactly.
balance. Holy
It's so
shit.
good.
And like, there's a nice little bit of, I guess comedy relief. Like there's enough stupid in here that it's
Yeah.
amazing. Him riding the mythosaur because he's a met. The fact that they take like 15 minutes to just be like put him on a ranch to learn how to ride a horse essentially that his people
Yes.
ride is fucking hilarious. Like
Fucking vlogs.
oh my god. It's this show
Yo.
is mind
W-
like
It was
bendingly
also
weird.
there was a little added value to for it to me in I had the subtitles on
Yeah, me too.
and
I couldn't
it
understand what
would
they were saying
say,
otherwise.
well, like for when he was like riding the thing, it was like the Mandalorian grunts.
Yeah.
So fucking good. It's so dumb. The
Yeah.
Mandalorian yelps.
Yeah, but I love that they refer to him just as the Mandalorian. Also, I think what I really like is that I've been really lamenting the fact that Firefly didn't get a second season or more than kind of like
Mhm.
kind of a half-baked movie. I really like Serenity, but like that
Oh,
movie's
I
not
love
very
that
good.
movie.
It's not that
I
good
love that
though.
movie though.
They didn't do enough with that. That world is so good, that universe, and they couldn't do enough with it for my taste. This feels like just a dumb Star Wars version of that. So,
Yeah,
like, I hope that they just do more where like every episode is like a different fucking bounty and adventure for this like space cowboy essentially. And I think they're going to. I hope, because holy shit. And the way that they can just kind of like shoehorn in little callbacks to like the actual movies and stuff is so good. Also, I just thought this looked really good. Like, for a show using CG as much as they do, it still had like a not kiddie version. Like, it doesn't have like that prequel feel, you know, where it's like like the weird walrus lizard thing, like at the very beginning. Looked
at the very beginning. Yeah.
At the very beginning, yeah, like looked fine for how like it should have looked completely stupid, but it looked like it.
Yeah, the one thing was I thought like early on, like the guy he's getting the first bounty on and the driver, like their way they talked was so like normal, like they just seemed super casual. It threw me off a little. Like, these just seem like actual people. This is weird.
Also, like I'm sure you picked up on this for sure. The fact that they use classic Star Wars wipes, like the radial wipe and stuff like that for like different transitions, is so good. Yeah, there's a lot. Like, it honestly feels like this is definitely a love letter to Star Wars in general. But when Star Wars was like a dumb, like fantasy sci-fi opera, not when it became like this weird self-serious thing that it kind of became.
Yeah, well, so also as someone I've been watching the other TV show I've been watching is Watchmen, which is an hour-long show. So going from prestige style hour-long HBO TV to 22-minute, here's just a bunch of cool shit happening constantly. I so prefer the 22-minute episode length.
Yeah,
it's so much more. This is so much more entertaining,
so much more enjoyable. I do kind of wish this was an hour-long show now, though, because I really dig this. I can't imagine an hour worth of Watchmen every week, frankly. I really like The Watchmen a lot, but I couldn't imagine it because that world is kind of bleak and like is maybe a little too serious for me. How is that? Is that show okay though? Like, or is it kind of the same like bleak writing that series probably that comic has for sure, and that movie kind of tried to replicate?
Yeah, it's pretty bleak.
See, an hour of bleakness.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm like not emotionally connected to anything that's happening in that show, but I'm just fascinated by the technical, like the execution of trying to make a Watchmen TV show. So it's kind of like I'm watching it the way I watch Game of Thrones. So it's kind of replaced that whole for me. It's like I'm not like emotionally invested in the story. It's just and I don't know. I can't even tell if I like it or not. Sometimes it's weird, and I've heard a lot of people say it's like walks the razor's edge between actually being good and being terrible. Like it's a weird thing. Maybe one day I'll have a harder stance on it, but for now I'm just sort of like I have to keep watching though. So that's something.
Yeah.
I feel compelled to keep watching. But this I was just fully in. Like this
It's
was
so
just
fucking good, dude.
entertaining. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know. I'm blown away. Like, I'm legitimately just so happy about this thing. Yeah. And then I was like excited. So what's the first thing all of us, our generation do, right? When we're excited about something, we go online to see what other people are saying. And then people are just like, why The Mandalorian is disappointment, failure, and like everybody involved should kill themselves. It's like, what the fuck? Why? Like, what? Wait, In what world are people fans of or critics fans of episode 8 and not of this? What is going on? I don't understand. And I think it's kind of maybe an anti-culture thing where people are talking highly about it, so they kind of want to get those clicks and be a little bit contradictory. Because honestly, at the very worst, I think what you would say about this if you didn't love it or like it or whatever is that it's just like fine. Like it's whatever. I don't think it's like egregiously bad in any way. It's a little schlocky and silly, but I think it's also that people maybe forgot that Star Wars is schlocky, silly garbage and always has been. So I don't really know what they were expecting from this. Just as a side note, Werner Herzog as like appearing in this episode was hilarious.
Yeah,
super
that was
well respected dude.
It was in the trailer.
Yeah,
I mean, he's done plenty of dumb shit.
Yeah,
honestly.
I like that guy though. He was. You're right. I don't know. I'm excited about.
I mean,
this.
The first thing I did was screenshot the Mandalorian grunting and tweet that out. So
I'm gonna have to retweet it. I haven't seen it. I think, hear me out on this. Every week, like we chat about the new episode. We'll do like a weekly recap. It doesn't have to be a podcast or anything. It'll just be on stream or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
But like, yeah, no, I'm really stoked about this. It shows a lot of promise for me. This is basically what I want with Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I was watching it with Erin. She was super excited about it too because she's really into sci-fi. She's a huge sci-fi geek. So like, she was super into it, and
it was like
we were chatting about it.
Yeah, no, watching this was like, oh, like this, they figured it out. Like this is the form you want for like side stories in Star Wars. Is this like really streamlined, not having to serve all the masters of a big budget movie,
right?
Just being a tight thing that's just pure entertainment.
Yep.
And like can just be this one thing.
Yep.
While still being Star Wars. It was
I do have to bring up another silly dumb thing.
It also just felt like I picked up a comic, like a single issue or something.
Totally. Like that's exactly what this feels like. It's like a video comic, kind of.
Also, it's hilarious to me how much the Mandalorian, he felt like a video game protagonist to me. With him completing his quest to get his shoulder upgrade.
I mean, that's a thing, right? The Mandalorian armor thing is like huge. That's like a huge part of their lore.
It's like, oh man, I've been playing WoW. He completed his quest. He got his new shoulder.
That's actually the part I wanted to bring up. How hilariously like ham-fisted they do the like flashback memories of like when the armorer is making the armor piece for him, and he's just like, I remember when I was a child, essentially, like without the like dramatic thing I just did, but it's just like memories of like his childhood, and it's just like so sad, and he's just like watching his armor being made, and then he levels up. Essentially, it's so dumb. There's
something like about that bluntness that works so well with a character that speaks so little. It's just like, you can just hammer it through, but we're not like speechifying everything. So it honestly works way better.
Totally. Agreed. Oh my God. I can't wait to see more. Especially because like Carl Weathers is supposed to be somewhere in here, right? At some point.
I didn't even know that.
I
didn't know it. The only thing I knew was the stuff that was in the, like I'd watched the trailer. So I knew
Carl Weathers is in the trailer.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't remember.
I mean, I don't want to refer to him this way, but he's the black dude. He's just old looking, so it's like hard to picture. Yeah. When I picture him, I picture young Carl Weathers, so I get it. But like, I want to see what role he's playing. Like, is he really playing Lando in this? No way, right? Like, he has to be somebody else in this nondescript world, but maybe. Because Lando would be alive. He didn't die. This is after all that shit. Alive. So
yeah, I also just like this time period, like right after Jedi.
Oh, when everything's
It's like,
garbage because people are trying to figure
yeah,
out like how to bring order back somehow, but there's
yeah,
none. It's actually the perfect time for bounty hunters. Like this is when
yeah.
this story makes sense. Um, I do want to know what the
There's
like.
something like the way that it just feels when he opens that door and there are just all these stormtroopers in that room,
Oh,
but
it's
like
so
the
good,
Empire's in a thing
right?
and they're all dirty looking. It's like,
And then like, and it's this weird thing of like, you wonder, are those actually stormtroopers or are these like mercenaries that like found stormtrooper armor that they like picked up off bodies and stuff? Like,
yeah,
yeah, I really, really like that there's like the remnants of like the ages past. And it's like before the stuff that we're seeing now in the movies with the sequels. So like, there's kind
hmm
of like no order right now. It's the perfect time for bounty hunters. I need to know why IG 11 is 11 and when 88 was before. Like, what is the protocol for numbering the
hmm
droids, the bounty droids? I don't understand like
yeah.
anything in this universe, and I want to know more. I want to know if there's more Greedos. Like in this, I'm sure we're gonna
Uh,
see a Greedo, right? I'm sure we're going to.
maybe.
Do you think we're gonna see a
Who
Jedi?
knows?
There's no way, right? They can't actually do a Jedi, but the Jedi are supposed to have returned.
Probably not. Yeah.
Maybe like talks of like a Jedi Academy starting up or like I don't. I wonder if they even go with that stuff or if they're gonna completely ignore the fact that like magician men exist.
Well, oh, maybe we saw a Jedi at the very end of this episode.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't want to talk exactly about that, but holy shit! And it was so cute. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I had, so I had flashes to one of my favorite comics, which
hmm
is this particular run of Cable,
Okay.
in which he is traveling around with a baby strapped to the front of him at the beginning.
Oh, you're talking about Death Stranding. Yeah, that game came out already. That game exists.
uh-huh.
I'm so like smitten with this thing. It's stupid. And I know they're going to fuck it up. I know that like episode 4 or something is going to have this downturn and it's going to be garbage. I'm ready for it. But that's okay because there's promise right now and for now that's fine.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's just
yeah.
like they executed well. Like all this show has to do is look cool and then also do dumb stuff with Star Wars. Like that's it. The blueprint is pretty simple. Like like doing a Mandalorian, it's like there's this lore you can touch on and stuff, but really it's just looking cool and
Yeah,
then dumb Star Wars bullshit
totally.
and you're good.
Yep. Yep.
It's like foolproof, but it hasn't been done before,
No,
really.
I know. It's crazy. Are they doing more Disney Plus stuff with Star Wars or is this the only thing that made it through?
This is the only thing that they've like confirmed so far, I think. Oh
Cuz
no, there's an Obi-Wan show that they
that's
confirmed
right.
with Ewan McGregor.
Yep, yep. Okay. I knew I thought there was something else, but I couldn't remember.
That's the other thing they confirmed it so far, I think.
Yeah.
There might be something else they've talked, but I don't know.
I think
I
this
just the
was
only
so cool.
yeah, I was
I was stoked. I
yeah.
really wanted to like I'm lucky because like I'm with somebody who like is super into this stuff so we can talk about it. But like at
Uh
the same time I was like I want to talk to my internet friends about it now. Like so I was just when you were
yeah,
just
like
like I have
that's
to
what
go
I
to
was
bed
that's what I
soon.
was
I was like fuck. Really?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's what I was doing before this was playing WoW with my friend and talking about the show and other stuff.
Yeah. Oh god,
Like I
it's so
was
good. I can't wait to kind of like do a catch up every week on what's going on in this show.
yeah, it's also just cool to like have a show. Like it's just cool to have a show you're following, like that you're into, and that you get to look forward to, and then watch.
I can't actually remember the last time that I had one of those because usually it's binge
Yeah.
watches.
hmm
So yeah, no, I'm stoked about it. The digital water cooler talk.
It's been anime for me, like
Ugh.
certain anime, but that's
but this is so much better. See,
Uh,
it's annoying to me because this is the stuff I want from Star Wars, and it's like I haven't gotten this in so long. Like Solo was close. Solo was definitely close, but there was something still off for me about it. Maybe it's the pacing or something on it, but Solo was definitely closer than the movies have been for a long time. And then this pretty much just hit it for me. Also, the bias that like I really like the bounty hunters and grew up loving them is like it's like watching your heroes finally come to the big screen. Essentially, I'm stoked about it. I'm so fucking happy.